I believe that brown building there used to be a, what was it called? A World of Beer. I think it was called the World of Beer. That has closed. I think that closed within the last year, that brown building there, World of Beer. Welcome, friends. Thank you for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. Here we are, friends, up at Spanish Springs Town Square here in the Villages, Florida. I thought I'd take a little walk and show you some unique things. Here's a gentleman with an RC boat, remote control boat. Look at how cool this is. There's the gentleman over there. Oh, it looks like it's a catamaran type boat. Check that out, friends. Catamaran. And you can see they have buoys in the water. They can use this as a race course. For those that are interested in racing RC boats. And there is the fine gentleman right there. I'm not sure if you have ever been up in this area, but it's very beautiful. They have a beautiful water feature here as well. Very peaceful, very serene. It's a beautiful Sunday morning in Florida, friends. I will show you some of the town square a little bit later as well. You can see the water levels are pretty high. Because you see some of these trees are underwater. Look at this. Look at this, friends. Look at these trees. DPM is the Department of Public Works. Check this out. There's I think it's a turtle in the water. There's a few turtles in the water right there. Check out the turtles in the water. Oh, I just scared the turtle away. There's another turtle over there, friends. There's one over here too. There's turtles all over the place. There's a turtle over there. We are in the Spanish Springs area. The town square is right over there. I'll take a walk over there a little bit later. I always enjoyed this part of the Villages. It's very nice here. Look at that water feature. That is El Camino Real Bridge right there. If you take that bridge over that way, you will run into El Camino Real Road. Look at this huge live oak tree with Spanish moss. Here is more of the northern part of the Villages. I know some of my subscribers asked me to video some of the beauty here in the Villages. This is part of that video. I also wanted to show you this building over here. They are performing construction on this building. Good morning. Let's take a walk over to this orange building and take a look what we have. I believe this building has been somewhat controversial. It's been in the news recently, that is for sure. I'll walk over there. Here's some more water features, friends, here in Spanish Springs Town Square. It's very beautiful here. And there's even a turtle sunning himself on the rock. Oh, it just went into the water. Very nice here in Spanish Springs. Here we are, friends, walking into the town square at Spanish Springs. Here's your beautiful water feature. Lovely sound. There's a restaurant called Blondie's right there, friends. This is a Sunday morning. The restaurant over there, Bella Vista, or Bella Vita Italian Steakhouse. I did eat there a couple of times. I thought the food was pretty good. I'll give you a closer shot of it. That's where the live music plays here in Spanish Springs, friends, right there. It's too early for that. Bella Vita Italian Steakhouse, friends. I thought the food was pretty good there, here in Spanish Springs Town Square. I believe this Blondie's restaurant is relatively new. There has been some recent news. And there are some new restaurants that opened here in Spanish Springs recently. I think the big news in the last year or so is, what are they going to do with some of these vacant buildings around Spanish Springs? People are afraid, residents are afraid that the developer is going to convert a lot of these vacant buildings into apartments. And people are somewhat up in arms about that. And you can find out more information if you go to either the district website, www.districtgov.org. Here's the Sharon box office right there. The Sharon Performing Arts Center is here. This is a popular thing for residents to do. September 17th. Right there you have this fine young man. They're going to be performing at the Sharon. There is more information of what's going on at the Sharon Performing Arts Center here in Spanish Springs. Here's the Rialto Theater across the street there. I think that theater is closed. The only movie theater in the Villages now that I know of is at Lake Sumter Landing. That's the only movie theater that's open. Let's take a walk around the square a little bit. Here's another look at the square. They used to have a gymnasium here as well. You'd pay a monthly membership to it. It was a third-party gymnasium. It was not affiliated with the villages. They essentially... There's another Gators, Dockside, Florida, right there. You can sit outside. Yeah, here we go. Health Club. Genesis Health Club is here on the first floor. Genesis Health Club. That is not the Villages Health Club. The villages at certain regional recreation centers have a health club. I know there is a health club at Laurel Manor Rec Center. There's one at Seabreeze Rec Center. That is actually operated by the villages. That Genesis Health Club there is an independent. They just lease office space or the building from the villages. Americano's Grill is over there. That's one of the more popular places to go here in Spanish Springs. Outdoor bar. Lots of people like to go there. And people are already sitting there, getting their drink on, getting ready for the Sunday football games, I assume. It's the Van Patten House. It is around 10:30 a.m., friends, on a Sunday. Here in Spanish Springs, you have a Chico's retail store over there. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. There's another helicopter right there. I believe that brown building there used to be a, what was it called? A World of Beer. I think it was called the World of Beer. That has closed. I think that closed within the last year, that brown building there, World of Beer. So there's a fair amount of vacant buildings here in Spanish Springs. And people are fearing that some of these vacant buildings, like over there, the La Reina Center, there's a lot of space in that building. They're afraid the developer is going to create apartments. I'm not sure if there's been any decisions made. But if you're a real estate developer, there's more money and more profit and more cash flow in apartment buildings than there are in single family homes or even renting it out to retail. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate it. We're just taking a walk around Spanish Springs Town Square. I guess today's a walk and talk video. So I will be bringing you some video content regarding some of the maintenance assessment fee increases in the south in districts 12, 13, 14, and 15. There has been recent news about that. Today is Sunday. On Thursday, last week Thursday evening, there were board meetings held at the Everglades Recreation Center for those districts. And a lot of residents showed up for those board meetings and voiced their displeasure with what is going on in terms of increased maintenance assessment fees in the South. And I guess there was some discussion and debate around those maintenance fee increases. Well, it turns out that the developer actually contributed $2 million to the maintenance assessment fees, so to ease and lower the amount that the maintenance assessment fees would increase. So for instance, I believe District 14 was due to receive a 56% maintenance assessment fee increase, and with the $2 million the developer has contributed, now their maintenance assessment fee increase will only be 20%. And the residents were bringing up other issues in the South. I will bring you a more detailed video about that. But this is the time of year, friends, where the budgets are being finalized for all the different residential districts and all of the commercial districts in the villages. September is the month that final budgets are approved by the boards. Because the fiscal year in the villages starts on October 1. So they have to have the budgets finalized because October 1 is a new fiscal year for the villages. And they start the budgeting process back in March and April. They hold preliminary meetings in April and May for all the different districts about the budget. And they finalize the budgets in September. So on Thursday night, they were trying to finalize the budget. In fact, they did approve, the boards did approve and finalize the budget. I believe District 14 was originally going to have a 56% maintenance increase, and now it's 20% because the developer contributed and easing the pain. And then one of the residents in the board meeting asked, well, what about next year? Are we going to need to go back and ask the developer to contribute next year again to minimize the increase? And the short answer, friends, is yes. The budget department projects how much it's going to cost to maintain those districts in the South. And if the developer contributes a one-time $2 million contribution, that means next year when they do the budget, unless something unforeseen happens, the developer would need to contribute again, or they're going to have another large maintenance assessment fee increase next year again. And I think that's what happened, friends. I think the developer saw that 56% increase and decided to essentially bridge the increase, because this year there's a 20% increase. Next year, they're probably going to propose another 20 or 25% increase. So next year, the developer will have to contribute very little or nothing. And the increase between this year and next year is probably going to make up that 56%. So this year, they're going to receive a 20% increase. Next year, I assume they're going to receive another 20, 25, or 30% increase, and then essentially will balance the budget. So the developer is contributing money as a temporary solution to minimize or keep those maintenance assessment fee increases to a reasonable amount. And they decided that 20% is a reasonable amount. So that's kind of what the developer does when there's unforeseen costs to the residents. The developer will consider making like a one-time contribution to bridge the gap. But you can be reasonably assured that next year when they do the budgets, there will be another fairly large maintenance assessment increase proposed by the budget department. And depending on if the developer will contribute next year, that will depend on what the increase will be. If the developer doesn't increase or doesn't contribute next year, you can expect, well, 56% minus 20% increase this year. You can expect a 36% increase or so next year. That's kind of how it works, friends. The developer will contribute to ease the pain of these maintenance assessment increases, but the developer will not contribute every year. They're just going to contribute to bridge the gap. Thank you for liking my videos, friends. Thank you for subscribing. I hope that helped you out understand a little bit of how the maintenance assessment fees work and how the developer at times will help the residents out, but it's not going to be a permanent solution. That's all I have, friends, for you today. Be safe. Happy Sunday. Take care.